I grew up hunting black-tailed deer. As a young bow hunter, I idolized Chuck Adams, Dwight Shue, Larry D. Jones, and Randy Ulmer. I started bow hunting 23 years ago and immediately fell in love with the sport, the fellowship, and most of all the challenge of bow hunting itself. In 1994, I sold my first article to Oregon Hunter magazine. In 1999, I self-published my first book, Bow Hunting Trophy Blacktail. Had to beg, borrow, and steal every dime to get that book out. And then in 2006, I wrote Backcountry Bow Hunting, A Guide to the Wild Side. It's sold over 20,000 copies. It's in its 6th printing now, and that has been the pinnacle of my writing career. Over the years, I've bow hunted all over. Lower 48, Canada, Alaska, Africa. But you know what I love most? Bow hunting right here in Oregon. I've been at the top of the world in life and love. With the help of my beautiful wife, Tracy, I've raised a family, written 2 books, been the editor of a cutting-edge bow hunting magazine, been a TV host, all while punching the clock at a full-time job I still hold today. I've succeeded and I've failed. I've been racked with the pain of losing a hero. Back in the day, I jogged to get in shape for bow hunting. I started endurance racing to push myself physically and mentally in preparation for the backcountry. The approach I take to preparing for the mountains might seem over the top to some. Definitely running 100 miles. I run in the middle of the night to get out of my comfort zone, lift a lot of weights, and it's unconventional to some. You know, a lot of people have the mentality of the Bubba hunter. That's not what I think. When I think hunting the mountains, I think athletic. I think being mobile. I think being just a physical specimen. That takes intense training. But not all have embraced this. Some people don't want to hear it. Some people have told me, Cameron, nobody cares about your running. Well, it's not my running. It's just getting ready for the mountains. It's doing all you can to put the odds in your favor, because back there, it's unforgiving. The animals don't care if you're not in shape. The animals don't care about anything but staying alive. I look at my mind and my body as a tool, and intense training sharpens that tool, makes me more prepared for the mountains. And it's given me confidence to do things I otherwise never would have believed I could do. Along the way, I raced against a legend in Boston. I beat the ultramarathon man in New York. I buckled by running 100 miles in 22 hours in the mountains of California. And ultimately, I became an athlete that hunts. Proudly, I've watched my daughter turn into a princess, my sons turn into young men, and prosper as big game hunters. I was dull sheep hunting, and I hit a ram. He was fatally hit, and he went down to the edge of a cliff and was right there clinging to life. I knew he was hit. I knew he was gonna go over the edge once he died, and I didn't hesitate. I was gonna go get him. Over snow and ice, tough footing, steep, rugged country, I grab onto his horns, and at that time, that moment, I realized he had more life left than I anticipated. He started to kick and buck.
The sheep's hanging off the end, I think. Calf's trying to hold on to him.
And I just held on, and it all stopped. Time stood still. What flashed in my head was my life, those who are important to me, those who I love.
Hey, Dad, see me in that 3?
Hey, Dad, you wanna play catch?
Be careful, and I'm praying for you.
And I wondered, is this it? Here I'm holding a 250-pound wild animal that with one false move could pull me over that cliff. And ultimately, I drug him up over. I got him on that small ledge. I tied him off, and I held on there. And I remember thinking I had survived. I am gonna make it home from this. And I remember thanking God for one more day to see those who I love. I made it off that mountain with a trophy on my back. It was one of the most intense hunts I've ever had. And while much has changed over the past 20 plus years, my obsession for bow hunting remains as strong as the very first time I released an arrow. Putting out a blacktail video has been a dream of mine for decades, and now, finally, that dream becomes reality.